Good afternoon, this is Dr. Vicki. I'm going to be running some demonstrations of the CEIS110 programming with Python projects for modules 3, 4, 5, and 6 so that everyone can watch this video, pause it as they need to so that they can follow along and make sure that we can get everyone's projects in. This is week 6 and it's imperative that everyone get their projects in. You can't pass without it. So what you see in front of you is Replit, R-E-P-L-I-T. We're going to be using Replit, replit.com. Okay, not Anaconda, not Spider, not anything else. In your instructions in the course, you have 2 sets of instructions. One are for Anaconda and one are for Replit. You're going to use the Replit instructions for every single project. Okay, so we're going to start with module 3, okay, because module 2 was just where you had to do the flow chart and all of that. So that's not really coding. So we're going to start with module 3, which starts with downloading the weather data. And it starts with letting you know that we're getting the weather data from the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and it has nationwide data that it updates constantly that we can get through an API. Now, what is the API? It's an application processing interface. So it allows us to do that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go to Replit right here. And if you don't have a Replit, go to replit.com, create a free account, because if you don't create an account, you can't save your work and share it and build upon it week to week. So what we're going to do is give you time, pause it right now if you don't already, create a free account, and then come back. Okay, then you're going to go to your My Replits, okay, right there. It says week 2 live session. Okay, so I'm on right here, project module 2. So this was week 2 right here. It's going to open for you so that you can see what we're starting from. Okay, module 2. Okay, so we're going to go to, hang on just a sec. Okay. What I want you to do is go to home, My Replits, excuse me, and we're going to click on Create a Replit. We're going to click Python. Right here, what we're going to put is CEIS110 Module 3. We're going to create the Replit, and it's going to spin up for you a fully ready Python integrated development environment. Okay, so it's pre-made for Python. How do you know? When you go over here, you're going to see main.py, because that is the file that runs everything in Python, main.py. So with module 3, I'm going to get rid of everything that's commented out, and we're going to have a blank main.python. Okay, we're going to copy the code from the instructions into this. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy it in. Got some more. So I have all of the code from the instructions. All right, print, load, complete. Do we have it all? Yes, we do. If count is greater than 0, yes. This print needs to go in a little bit. This one doesn't. Okay. Now, what we have to do now is change the name and data to your own in the comments. So up here in the comments, we're going to go where it says your name, put your name. The date, we're going to put today's date. 7th, 8th, 9th. 9th, 2023. Okay. Change the zip code to your zip code. Right here is the zip code. Leave the quotation marks. We'll put my zip code, 32163. Make sure quotation marks, that has to be there. Okay. Now, because the indentation is probably not right, we're going to have errors. Don't panic. We can fix those. So now what we have to do is hit run. It's going to run, and you're going to see right here, file, line 78, print count, rows inserted. It's an indent arrow. Unit indent does not match any outer indent level. Okay. 78. We don't have a 78. We must be talking about 70. Right here where it says rows inserted. See, the underline went away. So now we can hit it. Replit, updating package. It's adding the NOAA software development. It's using the version. It's updating the dependencies. It's installing everything. So that's what we need you to do. Okay, pay attention to the create table command. In the create table, you'll be creating observations with the fields timestamp, wind speed, temperature, relative humidity, wind direction, barometric pressure, visibility, and text description. And the data types of each field are listed next to them below, and then the insert command. So, boom, look what you have here. Database prepared, getting weather data. It's inserting the rows. 186 rows inserted, database complete. Boom, just like that. That's all you had to do. Okay, now you should see all of the rows inserted into the database. Your number of rows inserted may be different because it's depending on your local zip code. Check the contents of the project folder. Capture a screenshot of this right here. Take a screenshot of all of this. You see me taking a screenshot? Because that shows that this ran correctly, and that will go into the template for Module 3 for that. Okay. Capture the screenshot. Now, check the contents of the project folder to verify that a database file named weather.db was created. Let's take a little stroll. Right here, see? Weather.database. Right here. It was created. So that's fantastic. It was created. So you want to take a screenshot of this right here, because it's going to show that you have your main.p and your weather database. If you click on weather database, look at all the data. That's all the data. So it's going to show that. So you will take a screenshot right here of this so that you can see the main and the weather. That's your second screenshot, right? Now, deliverables. To complete the template, you open the template that says Module 3. Include a screenshot that showed this. Okay, include a screenshot showing this up here that has your name, date, all of this with the zip code right here, and a screenshot showing over here the weather database. So Module 3 was open a Replit, click a Python template, erase the comments, copy all of the code in the Replit instructions, paste it in here. Change the name to your name, today's date. This is where we're getting the SDK for the NOAA. You go down here and you put in your zip code. Then you hit run. If you get an error, read the error. It's going to say something about line 70 on mine because I needed to indent, which is hit tab, the print line. okay? Because where the indent is matters in Python. So when you see that, just put your cursor in front of it, hit the tab, indent it over, and you're going to see that the red line goes away. So when you run it, then you're going to get a lot of stuff showing you what's happening. You have to be patient. It takes a minute. Then when it says database complete, screenshot. Screenshot of your main.py and screenshot of this files over here. Put them in your template, and module 3 is complete. Look at that, how easy that was. Isn't that fantastic? So make sure all of that works. Get your screenshots, get them in the template. Pause the video. When you come back, we'll go to module 4. Okay, now that you have module 3 all completed and submitted into your Canvas course so that module 3 is completely done, don't you feel better? I do. Now we're going to do module 4, which is querying the database, which is the database we already have. We're not creating a new one. Again, there's nothing to be afraid of except being afraid. No one knows how to code until they learn how to code, okay? Every one of these instructions is going to walk you through step by step. So let's just enjoy it, enjoy the outcome, and let's finish these projects. So module 4, what you will do is you will open your instructions for module 4, and you want to open the instructions that say Replit. Essay Guide Module 4 Replit, because we're going to use, again, all the instructions for using this Replit right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to connect to the database using Python. We're going to execute a simple SQL select, which runs a search. That's what query means. And we're going to view the data retrieved from the query. So we're going to connect to this database, create a query, which is just a search, and then view the data that we searched from. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to open the Replit. If you haven't, make sure it's open to the one you already have. Okay, what you're going to do is open it, locate your project. We're going to rename the current main and then create a new main. Why? Because we want to keep the information from module 3, but we want to add the information from module 4, and you can only have one main.py file. You can only have one. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the 3 dots right here, right? We're going to put duplicate, and we're going to name the copied one to rename main, the copy. So you click over here, see where it says rename? Rename, we're going to rename it Build Weather. Does it matter capitalization? It absolutely does. buildweather.py. So that's your Python file for build weather. Okay. Now, replace the code in the main. See right here. We have the code already. Don't worry about it. We copied it, remember? Now it's in build weather. So we're going to go here. The original main. We're going to take all of the code out. Boom, delete. And we're going to replace the code with the code that was given in the Replit instructions. So I'm going to scroll down over here, get it, copy it, paste it. So there's my code. Now, put your name again, the date, yep, change your 8 to your own. Do we have all of that? Now it's telling you what this one is. We're going to query the database, right? So we're going to run the program. Now let's see what happens. Run. It's running, see? It's adding the pandas, it's updating the packages, it's updating the dependencies. This means it's doing what it's supposed to do. You have to just wait until all of that does. You have to be patient. Don't click on anything. Let it finish until it says it's done. Okay. You should see the weather data appear in this output when we're done. It'll show up. Just takes a moment because it's doing 6 installs, updates, and removals, updating any required dependencies. So you just have to give it a moment. Now, see, your patient's paid off. Right here is all of the data. This was the data from your weather database. Okay. You can look here, has the timestamp, the wind speed, temperature, it's in Celsius, humidity, wind direction, barometric pressure, and visibility. See it over here, mostly clear, clear. It's going to give you the date and the timestamp, so it has all of that. So far, so good. Now, see right here, all of this, take a screenshot. That's part of what goes in your template for Module 4. Boom, there's the first screenshot. Now, we're going to do a query to see the lowest and the highest temperatures showed in this data set. And then we're going to change the query to show us that. So I'm going to take this, see right here, I'm going to move this down a little bit, right here. Just you can move this up or down so I can change my query in here. So to see the lowest and highest temperatures, query database, run weather database, import, file name, all of that stays the same. Go all the way down here to where you see select command. That's where we're going to write what we want the search to be. That's all a query is a search. We're going to say select. Right now it says select from the observations in order by timestamp. And that was only based on our zip code. Okay, so these are your zip code. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the new select command off your Replit instructions right here and paste it in. And you'll know it's right because now it says select minimum temperature, maximum temperature from the observations from down here below. Okay. Now print, please read SQL select command print result. So all of that is right. Now we're going to run the program. Just pull this back up a little bit so we can see. And there it is. Boom, just like that. Minimum temperature, 24.4 Celsius. Maximum temperature, 35.6. That's all you had to do. So we're going to screenshot this right here where you can see the select command in here. We're going to screenshot this all the way down to the bottom so it can see the output was correct. That's your screenshot too that goes on your template. See, it's not near as hard as you thought. Now we're going to write another query to find the temperature and wind speed of the records with a text description of clear and change the select command to the following. So we're going to go back up here to the select command. We're going to copy the new select command. We'll go right here. Select command. We're going to select temperature, wind speed, and then the text description from the observations. Any weather that was clear. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hit run. Be patient. There it is. It's going to pull up every one of your temperature and wind speed that had a text description of it was clear on that day. Okay. It's clear on that day. So now, I need to take a screenshot showing the new select command and the output. And that's all there is to Module 4. So what you're going to do is complete the presentation deliverable, which is that template. You're going to put a screenshot that retrieved all of the columns, the first screenshot we took, when we changed it to find the lowest and highest temperature, and it showed those, the lowest and highest temperature, and then where it showed this. That's our third screenshot. You're going to put that on your template and submit that for Module 4. Whew, we got Module 3 and 4 out of the way, just like that. So pause the video, go back, reverse it, make sure you have everything, make sure you get your screenshots, put them in your template, and submit that for Module 4. Then come back. All right, welcome back. Now we're going to do Module 5, querying and manipulating data. Querying is searching, manipulating is changing it around somehow. What we're going to do is retrieve the data, which we have right here. We're going to cleanse the data and manipulate it from the database with Python. We're going to save the data as a CSV, comma, separated value, CSV file, so that we can open the data in Excel and create a chart. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is we're back in our project right here. We're going to rename the current main and create a new main. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, duplicate. So now we've got another copy. We're going to rename the copy to query weather, Q-U-E-R-Y. Yes, capitalization matters. Query weather. Okay, so now we have, that was week 3, week 4, week 5 is now in the main .python. Okay, so now what we're going to do, delete all of this. Now we have back to blank where it's number 1. We're going to replace it with the code in your Replit instructions for Module 5. Copy it, paste it, go back up, change your name, the date. Now I'm remembering the date. And this will tell you what you're going to do. Build weather to build weather database before. Okay, so we've already done that. So we have the import, convert, we have every bit of that. Run the program. Boom. It'll create an output file named formatdata1.csv. Formatdata1. How do you know if it happened? Right there it is. Format data 1. It took the data from the database that we built before and it formatted it into a .csv file similar to Excel, which is comma separated values so that it can be opened in an Excel. Okay, so it contains the extracted, transformed, and cleaned temperatures and humidity data. Now we're going to click on it. There it is. Okay, you should see all of the data separated by commas. That's what it means. Celsius, comma, Fahrenheit, comma, humidity. So it's 32.8 Celsius, 91 degrees Fahrenheit, and there's the humidity. Okay, so far so good. This data represents the first half of the rows in the whole weather database, probably 1 week of weather data. So now what we have to do is we have to get a second file containing the other half of the data for the following week. So what we have to do is make changes to the code that are highlighted below in your instructions. So we're going to go back to main. Going to go to the code. You're going to look to where everything's highlighted in yellow on your Replit that you need to change. You're going to go down to where it says output file name, format data 1. Okay, we're going to replace that now with output file name format data 2. So we have data 1 up here. Now we're going to get a second data chart. It's called data 2. So we have a second data set. Okay, then if you look on down in your instructions, you're going to see another highlighted area. So we're changing it, and we'll copy that. And down here, it's going to say rows, all rows. So we're going to take that, put the new one in, rows, all rows, front row count. It's going to tell you how many rows there are. And again, it's for the second data set. Okay, everything else stays the same. Now, click the 3 dots right here next to the Format Data 1. Select the format data.csv file. Here we go to format data. Okay, we're going to run. Go back to main. Run it. See, it created the format data 1 and then the format data 2. Right? So we're going to open format data 1. We're going to click over here. See where it says download? We're going to download it. Just going to go to, make sure it goes to your downloads file. You should download your favorite. Double click on the file and it should open in Excel. So we're going to download it. See right here, it's downloading. Or you can go to your downloads folder. Right? So we're going to click on it. So what we're going to do is go to my downloads folder on my computer. We'll go to downloads. I want to move it over here. It's in my downloads folder. See the format data right here? We'll double click on it. Okay, we're going to open with, you want to open it and save it in Excel. I'm on a Mac, so that's hard to do. So I'm going to, if you're on a Mac, what you need to do is you need to go to your Sheets in Google, and you'll be able to open that with your Sheets. But let's see where we can make a shortcut. When I open it with Excel, see right here, format data CSV, opened it with Excel. Okay. Now, what you're going to see is our column, Celsius, Fahrenheit, and humidity, right? Format data 1. Yep. I'm going to save it in my folder, file, save as. I'm going to download a copy to my folder, my CEIS110 folder, where we're taking this course. And you can see it's saving it as an Excel. Okay. Now, select all data. It might be from A1 to C221. What we're going to do is we're going to select all the data. and create a line chart with the chart title of temperatures and humidity. Okay, so select all data. See right here? I'm just getting the data. A1 all the way down to the end. So I didn't get these numbers over here, just columns A, B, and C all the way down to the end. So I've got, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up here so we have data, review, so I'll make sure everything was good. So see right here, we're going to go to insert. This says read only. I'm going to edit. This will go away from this. See, it went away. I need to go back and get my data again, just the data. See, don't worry when things don't work because every system is a little different. Just go with it and do it again. All 3 columns all the way down to the bottom, right? Then I'm going to go to insert right here. Line chart. See line right here? And select the first option for a 2D line chart. See 2D, first option. So now what you have is a line chart. Now we're going to change the name of the chart to temperatures. Right here. Temperature and humidity. Temperature and humidity. Yep. I want my T capitalized. It's bothering me, sorry. So, now we have our chart, temperature and humidity. All we did here was we created a chart to represent the data right here from our chart with our Celsius and Fahrenheit and humidity. So there's the temperature and humidity. This chart is going to show you the Celsius in blue, the Fahrenheit in orange, and the humidity in gray. And that's your chart for 85 days. Isn't that fantastic? You can do that with any data. So this data represents the first half of the rows in your weather data. About 1 week of weather data, actually. So, deliverables for Module 5, open the template. Okay, open the template. Go back here to main. See main? What you want is include a screenshot of your Python code. Move this down. That has the purpose about extracting the temperature, humidity with your name and date. You want to take a screenshot of this, right? Name, date in the comments. You want to include a screenshot of your Excel spreadsheet. We'll move that back up here. Your Excel spreadsheet showing the data and the chart. So I'm going to do a screenshot showing the data and the chart. Okay. So you have the data and the chart. So there's a place for data and chart on your template. I took the whole thing. You can take separate ones if you want to, separate screenshots, or you can just put this one in twice. So that's Module 5. That's all you have to do for Module 5. So make sure you have module 5 working and that you got all the charts and the Excel data. Remember, these instructions in the code are in your course, and be sure to use the ones for Replit, okay? Now make sure you have all that ready and upload module 5 in the course. Come back and we'll do module 6. Welcome back. So far we've done module 3, module 4, and module 5. We've done 3 out of the 4. Again, module 2 was easy, and I already have that out there in the announcements as well. So this is going to cover module 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is all of the rest of the project. So we're on the last one. We're on module 6, where we're going to develop graphical models to interpret the results. This is how we use Python in data analysis. That's what we're doing. We're going to learn how to use Python data analysis, compare data at different times, and use data analytics to interpret and analyze data. Okay? So what we're going to do is rename the current main. Remember, we keep doing that. So we're going to click on the 3 dots, duplicate. All right? And now, on the main.copy, we're going to rename. We're going to rename it extract weather. EXT. Yes, the capital letters of each word matters. Extract weather. So we have that there. So we have them all. We're going to go back to our main. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all this code out, and you're going to see in the instructions there's code for several different plots, and you'll be creating 3. We're going to create 3 different plots, and we're going to have screenshots for all 3, but we're going to choose 2 of the following to run. Then the 3rd plot will be the one that you create on your own. Please note that these plots take a few minutes to show up, so don't panic when they don't. And you'll need to collect stop up here to stop the program. So first of all, we're going to do a box plot. And we're going to use a box plot command to create a box plot. And it's useful, the box plot, to display a whole distribution. Okay, so what we're going to do is copy that code, put it in. See, create box plot for week 2 data. Put your name, put the date. Okay. Now, just take this, move this up, run. So you can see it's running. It takes a moment, so don't panic. It takes a minute. Resolving dependencies. It's just going to take a moment. It's installing everything that you need. Might take a few minutes to show up. That's okay. As long as it's still parsing over here and this CPU is still moving. Okay, everything's still working. Installing, it's still working. So you just have to give it a moment. Okay, when it finishes running, there'll be nothing here in the console, and then all the way up here on the right, you're going to see output open. Boom, you're going to see the box plot. Okay, I'm going to move my screen over so you can see it. Let me move this down. So there's your box plot. Okay, that's the box plot. So take a screenshot of this code over here for main, this code that says create box plot, and the whole box plot. Now, what we're going to do, make this back smaller. See, there's your box plot. Okay. Now, after the box plot, what we're going to do is the plot. The plot command will create a line chart with the X and Y axis. So what we have to do is replace this code again, right here, our main. Put your name, put your date, you see up here you have to hit stop because this one's still running. You see this is still over here, so it stopped, says stopping. When run pops back up, this is no longer running. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create a Celsius plot comparing two plots. So I'm going to hit run, and you're going to see it running at the bottom again. And then there is your temperature in Celsius chart. Isn't that fantastic? Week 1 is the blue. Then it's comparing week 1 to week 2. So you can, like a weatherman does. So take a screenshot of your code and your chart. That's your other screenshot. Okay. And now we're going to do the hist command, which creates a histogram. That's just a graphical distribution of data. So we're going to copy that code from the Replit instructions. We're going to stop this. See right here, stop. Hit stop until it says run. You'll know because there's nothing showing up in the output. We're going to boom, boom, boom. Put our new code in, create a histogram, put your name, put your date, right? And then we're going to hit run again. Look, there it is. There's your histogram of humidity. It's going to show you what the data for your humidity. Okay? Take the screenshot, the code, and that. Okay? So what you're going to do now is you have your screenshots. Now the deliverables are 2 of the plots, the screenshots for the code and the plots. Analyze the data and create a prediction based on the data. Okay? So you'll be able to use the data to say were there differences in temperature and humidity between the 2 weeks, so you can answer those questions. Use a box plot to determine for Celsius, Fahrenheit where the greatest variation was. Find the average value from week 1 and week 2. Review the data. What you're going to do is develop a prediction based on the data. You've looked at temperature and humidity for 2 weeks. Based on that, what variations in temperature and humidity do you expect to see in the next few hours or next few days? If the temperature goes up or down, what might be expected to happen to the humidity? Now, can you answer those questions? You can by going back and looking at how the data laid out on your charts. Okay? So this is more about using Python, the data analysis. So do your best on those 5 questions. Those questions are also on the instructions for Replit, and they're on the template. So for the deliverables, use the template, put 2 plots. You're going to analyze the data and you're going to create a prediction. And those instructions are on the module 6. So I want you to give yourself a round of applause. You have completed module 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there isn't one for module 7. So you're completely done with the project if you have followed along with me and created these. So watch this as many times as you need to. Stop it, pause it. Make sure you get everything done the way we're doing it. Have your instructions in Replit open. So you'll have to open the module 3 in Replit, module 4, module 5, and module 6. You'll have to have all of those open, those instructions, so that you can copy the code. Okay? So you can copy the code like I did. And those instructions are in your course for each module. Make sure to use the one for Replit. Okay, and if you follow along with my instructions, then everything else falls into place. Okay, so this is Dr. Vicki. I can't wait to see you successfully complete this class. Let me know if you have any questions. Use this to the best of your ability to complete all the projects. You ready? Let's do this. Let's finish this class.